were born a baby, always burn down the road. Yeah, but we were born a baby, always burning down the road. I'm a wheel born a baby, this life never gets old. Come on, wheel burners, yeah, burn with me. Come on, wheel burners, yeah, burn with me. Oh, take a ride now on Wheel Burner Express. Yeah, Wheel Burner Express, baby.
Yo! Sorry, just as I was doing that, one of the cats knocked something over, and it's one of Dar's pieces of, one of her pieces of, I don't know, china or whatever the hell it is, but if it's broken, it's my ass, so I just had to make sure it survived. What's going on today, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages? Got a couple in here. I got nothing going on. As you can tell, this is the existence of my life right now. It's just sitting around. I've managed to watch I managed to do the Tulsa King first season of that. I managed to do that whole thing in a day and a half. I managed to do, what else did I do? I started to watch House. Anybody remember that old show, House? The fucking egotistical fucking crazy doctor. Wasn't bad. Got through 2 seasons of that in about 4 days, I think. And then I just kind of petered off. I lost interest in it. So, and now I started yesterday. What the hell am I watching? It's called, hold on a second, I gotta fix this. It's called, sorry guys, hold on. Bear with me a second here. It's called Lucifer. The devil's running around town fucking causing chaos, solving murders and crimes. So it's not bad. I hate to say it. It's not bad. So I'm kind of in the middle of that right now. And I've just got nothing else really to do. I can't really mow the lawn. I can't mow the lawn. I can't do anything. I can't go anywhere. I can't drive. I can't, so I got a lot of time to sit around and just fucking think about shit. And unfortunately, with the amount of time I've got sitting around, I spend a lot of time on the internet, and for me, that's not good, right? Sitting around on the goddamn internet, looking at shit and looking at this. And of course, I fall back into old, oh, well, I'll go check out and see what this channel's doing. I really have no interest in that fucking channel. Well, I wonder what this channel's doing. I haven't looked at this one in a couple of months, and nothing's changed. It's the same old shit, same shit on every channel, right? If you've got a channel and I'm actively on your channel, it's because I follow you, right? If you see me on your channel, and that's because I actively follow you and I support you. So that's why you'll see me. Like TJ, I'm subscribed to TJ, Sterling, Shannon Thomas. I think there's about 10 or 11 now that I'm sub to. And that's because, I find you either interesting, fascinating, or I don't know, you give me a giggle, fucked if I know. But if you're not, then, I got to go looking for you. And when I have to go looking for shit, it's because I'm bored. And I hate being bored because, you know, you go looking at, like I said, you go looking at this channel, nothing fucking changed over there in the last, I don't know, 8 weeks. What's this? Oh, nothing's changed over there in the last 8 weeks. And, you know, there's pissing matches still going on all over the goddamn place. And people are, you know, still calling jobs and people are still doing this and doing that. And just because we're not involved in it, but whatever. DD15, go watch Narcos. Done. All three of them. Done. Love them. I don't know if there is going to be another one. I don't know. If you know that there's going to be, if you know there's another one, let me know. I'll be happy to watch Narcos. I was right into that. I mean, I literally gave up sleep to watch Narcos. I'd be going 24-hour spins. Dar would wake up in the morning and I'd already be watching it. I'd be watching it all day long. She'd go to bed that night. I'm still watching. Give me a kiss. Good night. She'd go to bed, wake up the next morning, and I'm still watching it. Then I'd go, oh, Narcos just about fucking killed me. Let me tell you. Good. Did I watch Equalizer 3? I have not. I will if they're suggested. What I do is the best way that I pick off movies or series is, you know, when you're going through YouTube and you got the shorts, and a lot of the networks and everything throw shorts together and they throw them up there into the shorts and you see them, and that's how I pick them off. So that's kind of how I watch that, and I get my ideas. But wipers on, headlights on. People don't know that. They do now. There you go. So that's kind of what's going on in my life the last couple of days, or actually the last fucking 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. What am I at? Anybody know what I'm at here? I had 4 weeks off. Went back to work for a week. That was on the 12th, 13th, for whatever, last month. And we're in, yeah. So I don't know what we're at here. I need Curtis. Curtis keeps track of this shit for me. That's what Curtis is good for. Anyway, let's just throw some fucking, see who's in here, who's walking around, who's causing trouble. Oh, what's good, Brian? Haven't seen you live in a minute. They've been, but hey, I'm here now. DD15. Well, I think the last live was like 10 days ago. And I haven't got anything. Now, there's been a bunch of shit happening up here in Canada, but with the exception of me sitting here, I think I'm the only Canadian in here. So for me to sit here and go off on Canadian politics or to go off on Canadian rules and regulations and bullshit like that, and a bunch of shit that's going on with the CRTC and the Canadian government, and they're going to start regulating and governing YouTube. Not YouTube, podcasts and shit like that. So for me to go off on bullshit like that is you guys really don't have any, say or feelings one way or the other about it, because it's not happening to you guys, right? In Canada, we're taking the shit kick. And so for me to sit here and go, hey, what's going on? And start babbling on about Canadian politics, I might as well sit here and talk to myself. You guys, you guys would fuck off and be long gone. What's that one? Sterling, $20. Dude, what are you doing there? I remember talking to you about picking up a project, car or motorcycle. I would love to do that, but right now, dude, even out of the good eye, I can't get the focus. Like I sat there the other day and I was fucking around with the socket set trying to do something out in the garage with something, and I couldn't get I just couldn't get my fucking hands and my hands and my coordination. I couldn't get it all together to work properly. So just inflation. You got it, DD15. We're killing it here. From Ontario. Oh, you're okay. Well, hold on. Truckers Anonymous, Alberta. Sorry, boys. I didn't realize that. I'm from Oshawa. Hey, oh, dude, I wouldn't have put that up on the screen. I'm sorry to hear that. Oshawa? I'm just kidding, brother. I'm just kidding. You're not that far from me. Yeah, there's Donnie. He's dragging his ass in a little late. WCF, what's going on, brother? How the hell are you? How the hell is you? There was something, though, and this is the dumbest thing. You want to see? This is where my mind has gone, okay? Literally, this is where my mind has gone. The whole time that I've been... the whole time that I've been off, this is where my mind has gone. I opened up my cupboards one day, right? You know, you got cupboards in your kitchen. You guys have all seen the fucking kitchen. You've had it seen in the background on me before. So I opened up the kitchen opened up the cupboard, and I noticed something. Now, call me a little late to the party here, okay? But I noticed something. Uncle Ben's converted rice, like the boxes. It's no longer called Uncle Ben's, right? I actually wrote it down because I went, wait a minute, I'm holding the box. So then I went over to I picked up my phone and I Googled it. Now, this is back in 2020 they made this change. I didn't clue in. So like I said, I'm a little late to this party on this. But the Uncle Ben's converted rice was changed, and this is what Google said, and I couldn't fucking believe this. Okay? And I actually wrote it down. Uncle Ben's, now Ben's Original. It's not Uncle Ben's, it's Ben's Original, and the picture and the logo have been taken off. The name and the logo were criticized as a racial stereotype. This is a 70-year-old brand. Uncle Ben's is a 70-year-old brand. Okay, and you guys all remember the Uncle Ben's. You know, it's the black guy, the white hair, the bow tie, and everything like that. And that's what they had as the face of Uncle Ben. And this is a 70-year-old brand, and all of these people, not all of these people, I'm going to say, you know, a very small minority woke up one morning and went, racist, and now it's Ben's. So then I started looking around my goddamn kitchen, right? Guys, I'm looking around my kitchen. Like, this has just been going and going and going. And I like I said, either I'm not paying attention or I'm not whatever. But Aunt Jemima's maple syrup, there's a bottle of it right there in front of me, right? Aunt Jemima's. It's now called the Pearl Milling Company. The Pearl Milling Company. So then, fuck me. Okay, I got to go look, right? Why was Aunt Jemima's? Well, if they're going to kick Uncle Ben's to the curb, give old Uncle Ben a kick, well, you know they're going after Aunt Jemima next, right? So now Aunt Jemima is now called the Pearl Milling Company. Okay. Changed because there was criticism that the character origins were based on the stereotype of the mammy. Now, if you guys don't know what the mammy is, you guys go look it up, okay? And basically, it's a black woman. I put the short form content here because I'm not reading it all out to you, but the mammy is a black woman content to serve her white masters. Aunt Jemima. Now, guys, I'm 53 years old. Aunt Jemima maple syrup has been on my table for as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember. Okay? Never once in 53 fucking years, well, let's say 50, because from age 1 to 3, I don't think I was too observant of shit. But, right? So for 50 years of eating Aunt Jemima maple syrup on top of my pancakes or my Eggo waffles, I never ever once thought for a minute, hey, wait the fucking minute. That's a racist thing. That's telling me that there's a black woman out there that wants to serve her. That's a mammy, and she wants to serve her. Now, are you going to sit there and say, oh, well, Brian, it's because you're white and it's white privilege and you would not see that because? No, I call horse shit on that. I truly do. I've got black people in my family. I've got cousins, uncles, blah, blah, blah. We are a mixed family in my family. Never once did I ever hear my Uncle Rod say to me, get that bottle of syrup off that table, boy. You know, or I'm not eating that, Uncle Ben's. That's a racist. I'm sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, how the hell is it that a minority of people, because I'm not looking at this going, okay, this is a grand scheme, a lot of people. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of people. There's 10 million people that rose up and said, Aunt Jemima has to change its name. I don't know if there was, but I guarantee, I don't know what the number was, but I guarantee it wasn't 10 million fucking people. Same with Uncle Ben. It was not 10 million fucking 15 million people that decided to change the name. So then again, you know what, guys? I'm just sitting there this is what I'm doing in my boredom. The The owner of Eskimo Pie, changing their name. And then the biggest one, like I guarantee you, every single person in here, with the exception of me, every single person in this chat, with the exception of me, is an NFL fan. Where am I going with this? Where am I going with this? Sorry, one of the cats is up there messing around. You guys know where I'm going with this one, right? What team? What team? I was like, I lost my shit. I'm like, and I don't even follow football. I don't follow football. I'm not an NFL guy, but I'm not a CFL guy either. I don't watch Canadian football or NFL American football. I don't watch any of that. Okay, Dar doesn't watch it either. So there's two of us. But it was a surprise to me, the Washington Redskins. Washington Redskins changed their names, right? Because of corporate pressure. That's what it was. Corporate pressure, corporate and what they call it? Sorry, I lost my thing. It was corporate, whatever. It was corporate and social and corporate pressure to change their names. You believe that shit? They are now called the Washington Commanders. Guys, you telling me that 30 million people rose up and went, oh, we want the Washington Commanders, the Washington Redskins have to go. Now, Canada has a CFL team, and we have the Edmonton Eskimos. We're waiting to see. I'm dying now, because now that I'm aware of what's going on, not that I haven't been aware, but now that I'm watching this more and more, I'm dying to see what else is going to have, right? So we got the Edmonton Eskimos. That'll be interesting to see if because all it's going to take with Justin Trudeau in office, all it's going to take is two Eskimos to stop rubbing their noses together to go, nope, we can't have the Edmonton Eskimos, and that'll be changed. What has become of our society when a small minority of people can get butthurt and can almost rule and overrule, and it's almost like the government. A small governance of body of people can take over and rule what the majority want. I guarantee you, the majority of people did not want to change it from Aunt Jemima's to the pearl milling. That was the minority. But there was a bunch of people within that majority that went, oh, well, we better do this or else. Or we could have this, or we could have Black Lives Matter people losing their shit and fucking blowing up buildings or whatever. I'm not saying that that's what they did. I'm not saying. I'm just saying there's some idiot in a politician suit somewhere going, we better do something about this or we're going to have problems. I call bullshit, guys. I really do. I call bullshit. And I call bullshit in the sense that, you know what? Start allowing yourselves to think for yourselves. You ever heard that saying? Allow yourself to think for yourself. Don't allow somebody else to think for you. Profane truth. Edmontonians will rise up. You know what? Profane truth. I truly do believe that. Football in Alberta they take that shit fucking seriously between the Stampeders and the Eskimos. So yeah, I can definitely say Edmontonians will rise up. I don't think they'll let that one go down quietly. But how many people are there out there right now that are like me, where all of these little tiny things are sneaking by and we know nothing about it? Like that doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that I'm dumb or I'm stupid. It doesn't mean that you're dumb or you're stupid. That's not what it means, okay? But the little things like this that are sneaking by, how many people out there are there like this, right? There's got to be I'm telling you right now, it's the majority of the population. The majority of the population probably had no idea what was going on with the pearl milling company in Aunt Jemima. And all the intricacies in the background and the fighting and the bullshit and the argument and the people that said this. And now I didn't get into that. I could have gone a lot deeper. I chose not to. To be honest with you, it's not that important to me. It didn't change the flavor of my maple syrup. But what it did do is just kind of turn a light bulb on, flick the light on for a couple of seconds to like, wait the fucking minute here. This kind of shit is going on a daily basis. And how many people actually know something or know what's going on? And if you do know and you see this going on with this product or this item or this brand or this party, and if you see it, how many people are actually truly saying something? Or are they just doing the typical, sit back and, okay, whatever. It's not affecting my life. I don't care. But when will it affect your life? Really, when will it affect your life? When's it going to affect your life? They'll go from this to that to this. And like I said, these are all fairly small things. But what is it going to take as an American and as a Canadian? What is it going to take before it will affect your life, or it will like pinch you, grab right there, pinch yourself right there? It hurts like a motherfucker. What will it take for something to pinch you right fucking there? And you're going to go, ow, and you're going to fucking take notice. And then you're going to stand up and go, hey, okay, maybe we got something. Maybe my voice is required here. Maybe an action is required here. Maybe sitting back and letting the world just be the world is not the answer here. So at what point is that? I don't have that answer. For me, I'm asking you, what is every single one of you has a different answer. Every single one of you has a different line. My line is here. Sterling, your line could be over here. Dar, yours could be here. DD15, yours could be here. But where eventually you as a fucking person, as a Canadian or an American, or even as a goddamn human being walking this planet. Hey, Trev, how are you? Pioneer Spirits walking around. Eventually, every single one of you, including Trevor, you're gonna hit that. You're gonna hit that line, or you're gonna have to sit there and go, okay, here's my line in the sand, and I'm not crossing it. And when they do cross it, then I will. Well, figure that out, guys and gals. That's what you need to do. Excuse me. Unfortunately, that seems to be where the world is going these days. It's not the big events. It's not the big events that are making the biggest changes. I hate to tell you that. In Canada right now, and Trevor, you'll abide. You'll get this. DD15, you'll get this. Being Canadian, it's not the big things in Canada. And I can apply this to the U.S. as well. It's not the big things in your country that are making the difference, that are making the biggest differences, or having the biggest effect on your life. It's not the big things. It's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little teeny things that. And I'm just going to use I'm going to say Canadian, but it's just the little teeny things like the Canadian government or the Canadian, the CRTC, which is our governing body for television and radio. It's the little things that they're putting through, and they're sneaking through a little bill, just a little bill, C11, C18, C13, they're sticking through these little teeny bills, and they're doing it in a way that nobody's really paying attention. So this little teeny bill's going through, and then it sits over here quietly, and they don't do anything really with it. And then C11 will go through, and that little teeny bill will go through, and then it sits over here. And yes, they passed the bill, but they're not really doing a lot with that bill. And then once they've got enough of these bills all put through, then they enact them all. And that's when we as Canadians, and it'll happen in the States as well. It'll take a lot more for it to happen in the States, but it will. But that's when we as Canadians are going to stand there and go, holy fuck, what happened? What the hell happened? Oh my God, I can't believe I lost my right to vote. I lost my right to have firearms. I lost my right to protest. I lost my right to, all of the rights that we are slowly losing here. And a lot of them that we've already lost, that people don't even know we've lost them. It's going to come to a head. It really is. It's going to come to a head, and they're going to drop the hammer one day, and you're going to go, oh, well, they can't do that. Well, you know what? Those bills are already passed. We've already done it. We've already lost it. If they took it all and wrapped it into one big bill and tried to cram it through, we'd stop it. The people, the population, whether it be Canadian or American, would stand up and go, fuck that. Whoa, no, not going down, not happening. Right? But that's because it's so big and it has such a big impact and such a big, and it's noticeable and you'll see it and it'll affect you all at once. That's why they don't do it like that anymore. They used to do it like that back in the 60s, back in the late 50s, early mid 60s and 70s. That's how they used to pass legislation. They don't do it like that anymore. They take the big picture of what they want, like just take a jigsaw puzzle, and they take a couple pieces over here and turn that into a bill, and they pass that bill. Then they take a couple more pieces over here, take it out of the puzzle and put it over here and make it pass that as a bill. And then when they've got all the pieces off the board and they've passed them all as bills, they put them all back together again. They got the picture over here, and that's your one piece legislation. That's when you're fucked, man. Communism sucks. Bro, that's where we're going. Profane truth sucks balls. It really does. It really does. I hate to be the one to fucking tell you that. It really does suck. Profane truth. Little Elvis, Canadians are soft as fuck. You guys are getting trampled on and don't do anything. It's not that we don't do anything. Like, Little Elvis, I don't know. I don't think I've seen you before. I don't know who you are. Let's be honest. Are we losing our rights? Yes. Did we lose some of our rights? Yes. But you can't call us soft as fuck, considering the trucker convoy happened in Ottawa. We shut down a country. We were noticed and recognized by every single free country in the world as goddamn heroes, because not even the Americans could even compete with what we did. We didn't get trampled on. We didn't get trampled on. Okay. We were well represented. We did what we did. And we're still doing what we're doing. The problem that we've got, Little Elvis, is that Trudeau, our liberal government, has decided as soon as he enabled the Emergencies Act, it didn't matter what we did. Dude, it didn't matter what we did. It made no difference whatsoever what we did. As soon as that Emergencies Act was enabled, we were labeled terrorists. You can't lawyer up once you're enabled, once you're labeled a terrorist, because all of your rights, they can now arrest me. Like if we had another trucker convoy, they can now arrest me for just protesting. They can arrest me for bad mouthing the government. And they don't even have to give me a trial. That's what these powers enable the government to do. And when we were labeled terrorists. As soon as they were able to label us terrorists, they were able to do whatever the hell they wanted. And that's what they did. Dude, it's not that we're soft. We're not soft. We're not getting trampled on. It's hard to fight back. Here's a good example. Little Elvis, I don't know. Are you Canadian? Are you American? What are you? Okay. We have a population of 37 million people. 37 million people. We have the second largest country in the world, square mile wise. We have 37 million people. The state of California has more people in it than my country does. How much fighting are you thinking we're going to do? Really? If all of the population of Canada had to fucking pick up arms and bear arms and fight against our government or against whatever, how many, first of all, are able to fight, of age to fight, or are going to be of any use in a fight? How many? Chris Freestone, I'm glad to see you. Yeah, many of us are still on the watch list. So if you got 37 million people, you're going to get maybe a quarter of those that are able to stand up and physically do anything. What do you do with that? Really? What do you do with that? Dude, it's not that we're soft. It's you got to pick your battles. You got to pick your battles. You don't walk into a fucking gunfight with a knife. Okay? You don't. And that's what it is. If you want to go against certain things, you want to do certain things, make sure that you're equipped and properly equipped to go into battle. You don't just go running into a fucking hailstorm of bullets and think you're going to do something good. It ain't going to work out for you. So I would like to honestly sit here and say, we are waiting for the moment to pick our battle. The battle's coming. Trudeau knows his days are numbered. The Liberals know their party is a goner at the next election. That's why they're cramming through as much bullshit right now as they can absolutely cram through. Now, does the next party, which is going to be the Conservatives, does the next party step in and reverse all this? He says he will. If he does, great. If he doesn't, well, he's just another fucking politician. Canadians can't be that soft, Elvis. We got more fucking World Cup hockey trophies than you guys. Just making a point, just making a point. Mr. Beast is in the house. How you doing? Canada needs a 1A and a 2A. Canada needs a 3A, a 4A. We really need a lot of help. Get rid of Justin Trudeau and Biden. Both countries will be good. You know what? I'm going to sit there and go, Justin, I agree with you. But who do you replace him with? Who are you going to replace Justin with? Right? Pierre. Right? I would love to sit down with Pierre. I'd love for him to give me 15 minutes of his time. I would love to just say, okay, give me 15 minutes of time and allow me to ask him a bunch of questions as a protester that was in Ottawa at the convoy. My truck, me and Dar, our truck was parked, on Wellington Street in front of the Parliament buildings. We were there. It's documented. We were making videos of it, of us being there. I would like to discuss certain things with him and certain aspects of certain rights and freedoms and liberties and things that have happened. I would love to. And I'd like to know where he plans to go. He says the right things and everything, but I'd like to know what he plans to do about a lot of the shit that Justin's doing. He keeps going, well, this is going to reverse and this is going to reverse. I want to know for sure. It doesn't matter one way or the other. We have no choice. We have to vote for him. You don't pick, like I've said it a million times, you don't pick the politician you like the most. You pick the politician you dislike the least. Find the guy that's going to do the least amount of damage, and that's the one you probably got to vote for. And in this case here, it happens to be Pierre Poilievre. Poilievre. I don't want to butcher the man's name, but Poilievre, I think. So that's now okay. We're going to replace Justin with Trudeau, and you guys are going to replace Biden with who? Trump? Is that the common what it's going to be? Trump. I think it's going to be Trump. It may not. There may be somebody coming in from left field out there somewhere that we don't know about, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fucking Trump. As a Canadian, what do I know? But I like that. Actually, DD15, you actually made a good point, because I always forget about the NDP, right? Which realistically, DD15, the NDP is just a side branch, a rogue branch, a left branch, a fucking whatever, a twig. They're a twig of the Liberal Party. The only reason the Liberals are in power right now is because the NDP gave it to them. They needed votes. They got the votes because Justin and Singh made a backroom deal for a bunch of shit. Singh wanted. Justin went, oh, well, we'll make that happen. And the NDP fucking gave him the vote. So you are correct. You are correct, DD15. The NDP's days are numbered. It is just a matter of time. When the Liberals are out of power, the NDP is going to sit in the corner and shut their mouths and not say a goddamn word for a very, very long time. Because if they do, somebody's going to put their fucking foot on their throat and just end them. That'll be the end of them. Anyway, see where we go. Let's start tirading and blabbering and Jesus. That's a term now, Sterling. Okay, I am behind on comments, so I'm not even going to go back there. But I'm glad to see you guys are all chit-chatting away. Sterling is Dear Karen. What did I miss? Is Karen making dinner for you at least there, Sterling? I remember when Mulroney brought in the GST, conservative prime ministers are just as bad as liberals. No one conservative MP has ever been on the side of small business and firearms owner. Pioneer, Trev, you're right. But that's why I say, like, am I sitting here going, okay, yeah, we're gonna, Poilievre or Pierre is gonna be the man and he's gonna be the guy. And Trev, you don't pick the one you like the most. You pick the one you dislike the least, right? Do I think Polivier is going to be the golden boy and come marching in and fucking riding across on the fucking white horse with the, you know, the gold lightning bolts and thunderbolts coming out of his ass? Hell no. Is he going to tell some lies? Yeah. Is he going to tell some fibs? Sure. Is he going to promise some shit that probably is never going to see the light of day? Yeah. But if you can work your way through a lot of that and find the shit that's important, find the important shit that's in there. And as long as he's willing to work on that, I'm willing to forgo a little bullshit over here and a little bullshit over there, as long as I know that he's working on the stuff that's important, like our veterans and our homelessness and our fucking schools and our education and medical system. Like, as long as I know that he's working on that kind of shit, do I give a flying fuck if the fucking stop sign's been hanging off the pole for the last 6 months down in the corner here? Don't care. I'm not writing my MP about a stop sign when, you know, there's 35,000 Canadian veterans that can't even get proper medical care, and they can't possibly get the help that they need. So do I give a shit about spending, you know, a $10 job to erect a sign, which the government would probably pay $20,000 to do? You know, take that 20 grand and feed fucking 10 veterans and house them and give them the medical care. That's the way I look at it. Right. I don't look at it in terms of, you know, is he going to make everything okay? Is the world going to be a wonderful place? No, I don't. And neither should you. If you are, you know, wake up. Conservatives are worse than the libs. The libs are upfront about their fuckery, where the cons are more devious. Chris, you could be right. You know, and that, again, I'm just going to keep referring back to, you know, go through them. Go through everything that Pierre has promised. Go through everything that the fucking libs have promised. Go through everything the NDP has promised. Find the shit that's the most important to you, and that's the shit that you put your voice behind, and you put your push behind, and your vote behind. Okay, work your way through the bullshit. Chris, they're all liars. They're all liars. They're like lawyers, right? What's the old saying about a lawyer? If a fucking lawyer's mouth is moving, the cocksucker's lying. The same thing applies to a fucking politician. Really, it does. The same thing happens. The same thing applies to a politician. If that fucking guy or girl's mouth is moving, chances are there's a lie in there. So, you know, look at it in that sense. Hope Sterling's, yeah, well, we all hope Sterling's doing well. He's the new union president of the Panty Union. I picked that up. I picked that up in Cash's live this morning. I don't know if he was voted in or if he's self-designated the Panty Union boss. But hey, as soon as I saw that he was the president, I threw my union dues in there and I signed up. What the hell? Hi everyone. Just wanted to say hi. I'm at work and cannot stay long. Houdini, hey, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Hit the like button on the way in or way out, whichever way works for you guys. I do appreciate it. Did Dodalina walk in? Somebody's saying hi to her. So if Dodie's here, sorry, I missed you coming in, but I am glad you're here. Thanks for stopping in. Can't believe Pierre until he puts stuff into work. Well, that's the problem, DD15. A lot of these guys are going to promise us a lot of shit, but a lot of this shit, I'm not going to believe. It's the old saying, I'll believe it when I see it. When it fucking happens, I'll believe it. As it's happening, I'll sit there and go, well, son of a bitch, the fucking guy telling the truth. Right? That's kind of where I'm at. We've been through this, but I tell you, I love Alberta Premier, though. She has been putting everyone in place, unlike Dougie. You know what? We love the Alberta Premier, too. Dar and I love the Alberta Premier, too. You guys, you know, if you Alberta people, if you don't know it, you guys really have a good thing going out there right now. Your premier, when you look at what your province, the state of your province and the condition of your politics and the condition of your economy and the condition of your medical and all of that shit, and you compare that against every other province in the country, you guys are a well-oiled machine out there right now. Do you guys realize, anybody from Alberta in here, do you guys realize that literally, you guys could separate from Canada? Nothing can be done to stop you. And you can do it and be debt-free and carry yourself and be successful, support yourselves. Like literally your province could separate into its own commonwealth, its own country, its own, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves. Who fucking cares? But the province of Alberta could do it right now, as it sits right now. You have the infrastructure and the people and the smarts and the brains to actually separate from the rest of Canada. And there's nothing anybody could do about it. Why it hasn't happened is beyond me. I have a feeling at some point or another, it probably is. It probably is. At some point, it probably is. You guys are going to separate. And I hope I'm living there when it happens, because I guarantee you this, it's easier to be there when it happens to try to get in after it's happened. You guys will shut the doors. Nobody else is coming in. Houdini, take it easy out there. Yeah, thanks for popping in, Houdini. We appreciate that. All of them. Like Bernier, though. I like Bernier. It doesn't matter, Chris. It shouldn't be I like Bernier. I should be I trust him the most. I dislike him the least. Because at some point or another, Bernier is going to let you down. It's just a matter of fucking. It's the odds. It really is. It really is. Cons, conservatives can't screw Canadians worse than Trudeau. Who knows, Karen? Who knows? We don't know what's yet to come. You know, we've given away, I don't know what, how many billions of fucking dollars to Ukraine and to Europe and to the WEF and to, you know, Freeland is on the board. She's the number 2 after Klaus Schwab. And a lot of our money has gone into that process. And that's where they're going with our country. Who knows? Who fucking knows what the conservatives can do? It may be too late by the time the conservatives get here. Political parties are two wings of the same bird. They're used to keep society fighting amongst each other, divide and conquer. It's all soap opera. People think it's real. I agree with you. Little Elvis, that's probably like first thing today that you and I are going to agree on. The liberal government mastered it. The Democrats are mastering it, but the liberals have it mastered. They're going to invoke fear, tyranny, problems, and they've put all of that into the general population and done what? What's it done? It's scared the people. It has scared the people, and by doing so, it's divided the people. And just like little Elvis here says, okay, they're keeping the people fighting amongst themselves. If we're fighting amongst ourselves, we're not watching what the big machine upstairs is doing. Elvis, you agreeing with this? And that's what the liberal parties in Canada have mastered this. They really have mastered this. They are great at it. Thanks, Houdini. I appreciate that. Watch the replay. Hey, when you watch the replay later, hit it again, just for shits and giggles. You know, I would vote for Stirling and the Panty Union. Oh, dude, so would I. I bet he would manage the country way better than the politicians. Well, he won't manage it any worse. So does Quebec. They got everything they need, and they've been wanting to separate. They're just waiting for the right time. You know what, DD15? I think there's other things involved with that. I think there's land acts that are involved with that. If Quebec was to separate, they don't take all the land with them that they've got. I think there's other things in place with Quebec. Do they have the dollars and the economy to support themselves? Maybe. You know, they got a lot of space. They got a lot of lumber. They got a lot of steel. They got a lot of blah, 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 blah. They can. They also have the support of a couple of European countries, but I think that would dry up. I don't know if Quebec is going to. They've tried. And every time they've done it, oh, yeah, we're separating. You know, we all go, see ya. Bye. Get lost. Go. It never happens, though. Never happens. I would be very surprised to see if Quebec ever separates. I'll be honest with you. One of the big things that Quebec wants is they want to be able to separate and be a division between the eastern provinces and the western provinces. The western provinces would then start with Ontario, and the eastern would be New Brunswick, right? So every piece of freight, every car, truck, motorcycle, everything that has to travel from Ontario out to the eastern provinces is now going to have to travel through the province of Quebec. And they are counting on tariffs, tolls. They're counting on all of that as huge amounts of money and a supply of revenue. And I'll be honest with you, I'll give my money to the U.S. and I'll go down through Pennsylvania and I'll come up through Maine into Nova Scotia before New Brunswick, before I will give Quebec any toll money or any money like that. I just won't do it. You know, as a business, or I will shoot myself in the foot. I'll pay 10 extra fucking dollars to the U.S. to move the same shit out to the eastern provinces before I'll give it to Quebec. It just won't happen. It won't happen. I'll continue supporting the PPC. They've been consistent in their message and don't need a teleprompter. Chris, you know what? I don't know if you watch Pierre in the House. Every once in a while, I'll go on YouTube and I'll sit there and I'll just watch and see what's going on in the House of Commons. That son of a bitch is pretty good in there, and he's not using the teleprompter. He's pretty quick. I like it. The PPC, I don't follow. Sorry. Ukraine is going to be the new holy Jew land. Write it down. You know what? I'll be honest with you. And I'm not ashamed or afraid to say this. I don't care. I don't care. Again, I don't give a flying fuck. And I would if certain other things were taken care of first. But the fact that we just shipped another $60 billion and we sent $48 billion a couple months before that, and another billion. Like, we're not talking a couple $100,000 here. We're talking billions, not millions with an M, billions with a B. Tell you what, all the people of the Ukraine, tell you what, I'll send you my personal fucking checks and I'll support as many of you as I can once our government and our country takes care of our people first. And that's the way it should work, guys. Our people and our country should be fed, clothed, educated, taken care of, medically taken care of. All of those needs in our country could have easily been taken care of with the amount of money we sent over to the fucking Ukraine. And the U.S., you get to spend, 10 times what we've spent? 10 times. You're never going to get that fucking money back. Hate to tell you that. Neither are we. We're never going to see that fucking money. But once all of that's taken care of, when I can drive from Windsor, Ontario to the Quebec border and not hit a single fucking pothole that's going to require my truck to get needed realignment, then I'll start thinking about, okay, once all of that is taken care of, whatever is left over, hey, let's divvy it out. Throw a little at the Ukraine, throw a little over here. Let's help out some other people. And that's just as Canadians the way we are. But God damn it, let's take care of our own first. Our government is letting the country within us die, and they're throwing it out on the world stage. And this asshole Trudeau, on the world stage, he's a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a goddamn joke. You go ask any world leader from Portugal, Spain, Italy, France, England, Justin Trudeau, the first thing they do is start laughing. Like I just did. Like I just can't help it. It just happens. You start thinking about this, idiot, and that's what happens. But little Elvis, Ukraine is going to be I don't care. I could give a flying fuck either way. I do not care. Don't care. When all of our services, and I can open that up to a lot more. Like there's retired cops that need help, retired firefighters that need help. You know, all of our emergency services people, all of those people that require assistance in life and everything like that have given 20 years or 25 years to the service of taking care of people. All of those people that require anything, when they're all taken care of, when the vets are taken care of, the homeless is done, the education, whatever's left over, hey, let's throw it at the Ukrainians. Let's throw it over here. Let's throw it over there. Whatever. Throw it fucking wherever you want to throw it. Throw it up your ass. I don't care. But until such time, sorry. The Ukrainians, you know what? Let me put it this way. Let's say Ukrainians win the war and everything's fine. Is that money coming back to us? Are the Ukrainians going to start, sending checks over to us going, okay, we Canada spent, let's say $400 billion. Well, let's start divvying that up, $400 billion. If they paid us all $400 billion, the Canadian government could turn around and give every single Canadian in Canada a check for $1 million. We'd all be fucking set for the rest of our lives, be able to live a nice, comfortable life, still go to work and still contribute, pay our taxes, blah, blah, blah. We'd be able to do that. Do you think that's ever going to fucking happen? Like I said earlier, I'm 53. That's not going to happen in my lifetime. Pioneer spirit. I ponder the idea of what role of government, voters, politicians, and social contract have in 2023. Quit pondering, Trev. You're going to hurt yourself. My opinion, fix our country before handing out billions to other countries. Karen, I agree. I just tiraded all about it. I agree. Government loves to keep people fighting with each other. And they do. They do, Trev, because as long as we're fighting with this and we're fighting with that, and the truckers and the convoys over here doing this, and this population over there is doing that, nobody's looking at what the big bad machine is doing. And what's the big bad machine doing? They're passing bills and throwing our money over to overseas. We're taking a kick in here. At my age, watching the children get everything they voted for has been very enjoyable. Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Bees, I still have enough years left over that I'm going to be a fucking recipient to some of that damage in my lifetime. And I don't know how old you are. You may well be too. The damage that's happening is still, like I said, at 53, realistically, that's not to say I don't have at least another 20, 25 years left to live. I'm going to pick up, my life is going to pick up some of that damage. And that's just a fact. There's nothing I can do about that. So I'm not overly crazy about that. I'm not enjoying any of it. Separate and manage, one of the oldest tricks and always works. Thanks to ancient Greeks. It's still working today. Will Burner. Oh, Robert, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Back on. Hello to chat too, man. Good to see you, Robert. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for popping. I was thinking about you the other day. Pioneer Spirit, Mr. Beast, Pioneer Spirit. I'm not fighting with anyone. I'm just hoping I don't laugh myself to death. Shit is funny as fuck. Well, it's good you have a good sense of humor. Good thing you have a good sense of humor. My sense of humor doesn't quite go that way yet. You watch way too much news. I try not to watch. I try not to watch Canadian news. I don't mean like I watch American news. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch fucking CNN or any of that shit. I honestly, I get a lot of my information. I will pull it off the internet from more reliable sources, from outlets that don't have government funding. So they're not going to say or not say whatever the government or a political party wants them to say. When you can pull your news from those sources, you're going to get better news. You're going to get better information, and that's what I try to do. Organized Chaos is saying amen. Oh, man, I'm so far behind. He could have farted and said amen, been saying amen about 20 minutes ago. I try to tell people what's going on, but most people just say I'm crazy. So do I. So do me too. Mr. B's, me too. People look at me like, Jesus Christ, that's a crazy old fuck. But you know what? When I'm standing on my front lawn and when I'm standing on my front lawn and I'm not the only one standing in my underwear because they've taken everything, you'll see how fucking crazy I am. I'm going to say hi to Robert. Doing well. Just finished the day. How about you? Good stuff, Robert. You actually worked. I don't give a damn. DD50. I don't give a damn about Ukraine. I'm sick of hearing that name. They could have used that, develop a Highway 111. But no, let's send to Ukraine first, then take care of our stuff. I support Putin now. You know what? I don't support any of them. I don't support any of them. I don't support any source, any company, any fucking government. I don't support any of them until my country is taken care of first. Take care of my country first. Let's take care of Canada first. Americans. If you guys turned your fucking country around and used with 347 million fucking people in that country, with the tax revenue that is generated, if you were a little more, if your government was a little wiser, and this applies to my country as well, with what the fuck they're spending their fucking money on, and didn't put our noses necessarily where they didn't need to be, which is costing trillions of fucking dollars, your country would be in much better shape too. Your roads would be better. Your Medicare system would be better. And a lot of the shit that we got up here, would be better. You guys would have a better way of life. It's funny how 1% of the population holds 95 or 99% of the fucking wealth. That's not by accident, guys. And that number stands true in Canada as it does to fucking in the US. At 60, I have a whole new respect for the term "get off my lawn." You and me both, brother. You and me both. RGB, hey, how the hell are you? What's going on? Do you understand, Tyke Trucking, sorry, do you understand the fiat system? They didn't send them any fucking money. I think what you're talking about, Robert, is they didn't actually send cash, right? It's almost like on an IOU system or it's like a promissory note. Yeah, it's not like they took, 25, 40 shipping containers, packed it all full of cash, closed the door, put a padlock on it, and sent it on a fucking steamer across the ocean. No. To count to 1 billion, it would take 31 years, 251 days, 7 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds. Okay, Sterling, go. Let us know when you get there. Good point. I every once in a while I get a good point. Not very often, but I do. Fiat currencies have a historically 100% failure rate. Okay, now I'm very sorry because I don't want to talk out of ignorance here. Oops, sorry. Fiat money is a government-issued currency that is not backed by a physical commodity such as gold or silver, but rather by the government that issued it. Oh, wow, are we fucked? Are we fucked? If the Canadian government is doing this, we are fucked because we do not have the backing. But I guess you could also look at that as also, what do you call inflation? It's almost like that. It's printing money with nothing to back it up, right? So basically, we're giving money to the Ukraine, or we're giving money cash with nothing to back it up. Well, Tyrannus and Robert, I learned something new today. Thank you. There is only credit, unfortunately. It's like giving that gay Ukrainian a credit card and we foot the bill. Thank you. I'm learning something new here, boys and girls. Who knew? That's why we keep Robert around. Robert's the old professor of the world here. Thanks, Robert. Thank you very much. I have to go, but love the philosophical and political talk. Keep talking about the role of government, voters, politicians, and the social contract. Dude, they're going to have to either take me out of here or whatever, but Ashken's, whoa, what the hell is that? Hashtag Ashkenazi for life. Ashkenazi. Excuse me. Inch by inch, slowly I crept. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what's happening to us, my friend. On the social, that social contract over. Yeah, we're fucked. Don't worry, in another 10,000 years, another asteroid will hit the Earth and wipe us all out. Well, Wizard, I tell you what, if you're still around when it happens, document it for us, would you? Document it for us. See, dude, I told you you'd be good at this. I know, but there's certain things I want to be good at, and there's certain things I don't want. Giving out free money to fix poverty is about as effective as giving out free degrees to fix stupidity. Oh, fuck, I love that. You know what, dude? I actually got to take a screenshot of that. That is fucking, I've never heard that in my life. I've heard a lot of cool shit, but I've never heard that one. Giving out free money to fix poverty is about as effective as giving out free degrees to fix stupidity. Dude, Elvis, you're killing it. You're on fire here tonight. Tonight. What am I talking about? It's only 2:15 in the afternoon here. Only 2:15 in the afternoon. Appreciate you guys all hanging out with me, though. There's I got 30 of yous in here. Thanks for hanging out. It's not like I got anything going on here. We're just sitting around talking shit and being stupid. Who's that? 100% failure rate. That cracked me up here. Yeah. Well, a lot of shit out there has 100% failure rate, but people still fucking do it anyway, dude. Look at our government and our social system, right? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Tremendous. A lot of the Canadian government, and I can even say a lot of what's going on with the federal government in the United States, you can apply that saying to years ago. They're doing shit today, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result from what they did 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Yeah, Sterling, eh? The Ukraine war cured COVID. Funny how that happened. Eh? You watch, guys. There's another. Every time we need money, or anytime we need something, or the governments deem that we need something, a new war comes along, right? This Ukraine war is just another distraction of how we're going to move billions of dollars around the world. That's all they've done. Gary Taff, carbon tax is paying for Trudeau's war. I'll be honest with you, dude. I don't think the carbon tax. Yes, the carbon tax is a big tax, and it is collecting a lot of money. But I think so far we're into the hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't think that carbon tax has collected that much yet, and I got a feeling that war is going to be long dead and gone and buried and over before that carbon tax disappears. Canada did and is still doing an awesome job at exposing how corrupt the government is, and is helping expose just how big and deep state really is. And it's funny, eh, Mr. Bees? It's funny how that all it took was a bunch of dumb fucking truck drivers to park a bunch of trucks in a capital city. That's what started it. I got a little insulted, not insulted, but I guess I got a little butt hurt and a little, my feelings were hurt the other day. I saw somebody on another live and they were talking about me. And for me, I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. But somebody was questioning the fact that I was at the convoy, that Dara and I took our truck and we participated at the convoy. I guess this person had gone to a source that I used to work at, and he claims that somebody at that source said that I didn't go and I wasn't there and that I was forbidden to go and blah, 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 blah. And I got a little butthurt over that. Well, first of all, and I really shouldn't have, because you can go back to the beginning of my channel, probably within the first 15 or 20 videos is when that convoy started, and I documented it. It's all documented. You can go watch it, right? Fucking weeks of the whole convoy on my channel. We were there. The truck was there. It was documented. We were, you can't take a truck and put it down there and then, remove it. It doesn't work like that. But I got pissed off over that. And sorry. It still bugs me. Because it wasn't so much for myself. It was, what the hell happened there? What the hell went on down there? A lot of you guys still don't know the impact that little convoy had. That little teeny convoy. It wasn't little teeny, let me tell you. I'm being sarcastic here for those of you that haven't figured that out. The impact of what that fucking convoy did. The huge economic changes and political changes and the fear that went right up the spine of the political system in Canada and the US. The only good thing about the US is Trump was actually on the sidelines rooting us on. That was a good thing to see. But our government was scared to death of us. Terrified of us. So if you don't think a little bunch of, I don't know what you want to call it, a little, what would they call us? A little group of people or whatever the fuck, minority. If you don't think that a few people can wake up a large body of people and scare a government, you're wrong. It can be done. We've already done it. And let me tell you something, it's going to happen again. If the U.S., and I don't mean it has to be done with truckers, but I'm telling you right now, if the U.S. could manage to pull your heads out of your asses, stop fighting amongst yourselves and get your shit together long enough, what you guys could do would make what we looked like would be like a puppet show. You guys could do this on a world stage. We did it on the world stage and it looked great and it was awesome and it was fantastic and the world woke up and everybody was behind us. If the U.S. could do it, there'd be no stopping the changes. You couldn't stop the changes. The governments would have to have no choice. You could probably, and I hate to say this, so it's going to give you guys some ideas. You guys could probably remove a government if you guys worked hard enough together with it. Canada would have a harder time with that, but you guys could. Ron, we were better off with our military when our military was peacekeepers. Since 9/11, we went south. I agree. Sorry, but I've got to say this. Get it on your thick heads. There's no fucking money. Robert, you're free to say it. I agree. The world runs on credit, promissory notes that are never going to be fulfilled, that are never going to happen, and those promissory notes are going to get passed on to another generation who's going to make some more promissory notes. There's no cash, and just wait, guys. Once they go to a digital currency, and everything is digital, and they your social standing and your credit and your everything is all social, like the way they've got in certain areas of China. Who knows where the fuck we're going to be? Who knows? Pierre already said that he's going to work very closely with Donald Trump when he gets back in office. I'd like to see that. I'm not saying that Donald Trump's going to solve all the world's problems either. There's a guy that knows how to cause a lot of shit. But did he do for the political party and do for the American people what he said he was going to do? Yeah, he did. He ran the government like a business. He didn't run it like a politician, and that's why everybody in the beginning was so fucking scared of him. They don't know how to deal with business people. Politicians only know how to fucking screw over politicians. They don't know how to screw over business. Business people know how to screw over politicians. Trump came in as a businessman, and he basically said, we're going to trim this fat, get rid of that. He's going to run the government like a fucking business. And he did. He made some mistakes, but he also did some good. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not touting him as the next savior of the fucking free world. I'm not. That's just my opinion of what I saw, Side note, gold-based ended up, sorry, tall guy, fucked that up. Side note, gold-based money ended up after the 70s and fiat currency era has started officially. It's already 10% based on the gold, and before then that, 100%. They did it step by step. Right, okay. But if you look at Tolga, if you look at anything that has happened in the last, say, 50 years that has been a major impact for negative on our society, it's all done step by step, with the exception of big things, World War I, World War II, Korean War. Aside from that kind of shit that happens on the world stage, everything else is done piece by piece. Yeah, for the most part. Fair enough, Mr. Beast. Yeah, I agree. If they let him. I'm assuming you're talking about Donald. The Don. Oh, sorry, I wanted to see that. Don't be lazy to give a like, folks. It's do it a while, and then there's extra tax on it. Yeah. In Canada, they took our guns. In the USA, there are too many guns to go after. So they're going after the ammo companies and the stuff that goes into the ammo. What are you left with? What you're left with is exactly. Remember we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago? Remember? Right? The reason they did in Canada, they went after the guns and they did it piecemeal. They took our guns and fucking most of us didn't even fucking know they did it. But they couldn't do that in the States. Because I'll use this example. Biden knew when election time came and he went door to door, or when it came time to take the guns and they went door to door, we're taking your guns, that every time that door opened, there was going to be a 30-06 pointing back at them. The American people have more weapons in private hands than the U.S. military has. So you can't, that's not a fair fight. The politicians can't just go, here, give us your guns, and you guys are all going to walk up and go, oh, yeah, okay, here's all my guns. That ain't going to fucking happen. So Mr. B's has a very good point here, and that's exactly what they're doing. So if you don't know, if you're an American and you don't know this is going on, look into this, because this is exactly what's going on. They're going after the ammunition. Dude, you can't fire a fucking gun without a round to put in the chamber. It just doesn't work that way. You're going to be down to fucking slingshots and rocks before you know it. You can have all the guns in the world. You can have the greatest fucking guns in the world. Look at this thing. It spits out fucking 1,200 rounds a minute. Fucking, I can cut people in. If you got no fucking rounds, you got no ammunition to put in it. And that's where your government's fucking you. They're not going to take your guns. Keep the guns. Keep your goddamn guns. And stockpile as much ammo as you want. Because once they stop the supply of ammo, you will eventually run out. And they'll just wait you out. They will just wait you out. Simple as that. And that's what's going to happen to you guys. They don't need to do that in Canada. They took our guns. Now, I say that with, I don't know if you can see, I say that with a smile on my face. Because, yeah, we're not supposed to have them. That doesn't mean we don't. Right? If you've got 7 guns in your house and they were all fucking registered, I guarantee you that guy that's got 7 guns that are all registered in his house, he's probably got 3 more that weren't. Now, those 7, of course, because they're registered, the government knows about them, you got to hand them in. If they were on the list of guns that were outlawed, you have to hand them in. What do you think? We all just walked down into our gun safes and involuntarily grabbed those other fucking 3 and said, hey, here, don't forget to take these ones too. You know, I need you to take these ones as well. No, it doesn't fucking work like that. It really doesn't. Awkward bat. Oh my God. Sorry, I must have missed something on that one. Anyone else feeling it getting colder earlier this year? Chaos. Dude, you're right. It is, I think it's like fucking 16 degrees. In my place here right now, well, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but 16 degrees. It's the sun's out, but it's a little bit windy and it's a little bit chilly. I'd probably have to put a hoodie on with my jeans to go outside. Ron's going honk honk. I don't know what the hell you're honking at, man. I got something going on. I got something fucking going on with my good eye. I got this little smudge going across. Geez, just what I need, eh? Another goddamn eye problem. I do organized chaos trucker. I can say it started 2 or 3 weeks earlier this year. Yeah, Tolga, you're over in Turkey. So yeah, I wonder what's the weather doing over there? You guys are right on schedule for your snow? It's a beautiful day in Como, North Carolina, 74 in Como. That's nice. That's nice weather for me. We had 36 on Sunday in Tennessee. Nice. That's hot. I'm not a big fucking hot fucking weather guy. So exactly why I learned to ball and mill and corn homemade black powder and several muzzle loaders, Mr. Beast. Tyrannus, if you've got that skill, my friend, you are going to be a man in demand. Never mind driving a fucking truck. Never mind driving a truck, dude. Put a shop or put a shack in your backyard and start now. Start now. I'll guarantee goddamn to you. Dude, you're going to do well for yourself. Trucking won't be able to compete with that. Modern ammo got too expensive for me to enjoy a decade ago. Yeah. You know what? Start making it. Start saving it. Start passing it out. I still have vids of the convoy. All those people in the cold along the highway cheering you on. Still melts my heart, dude. You know what? With the exception of my children being born and marrying Darlene, that's the proudest thing I've ever done in my one of the proudest things I've ever done in my entire life. It'll take from the time that we started in the convoy, we left here, we had to go, we bobtailed into Toronto, we picked up the nose of the convoy in Toronto, and we got on the nose portion, the first pack from Toronto back up into Ottawa. I'll never forget. I can almost tell you every single mile of that trip, what we were doing, what we were talking about, what we were saying, what was happening around us, the support of the people on the overpasses. Every time we stopped, because we stopped in Kingston, and the support, and we didn't pay for anything. We didn't, even in the convoy all the way up here, we didn't pay for nothing. The population or the public was, throwing like I had by the time I rolled into Ottawa, I probably had about $300 worth of gift cards, Subway, Timmy's, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. Like they were just throwing shit at us by the time we got there. And then once we got there, every 15 minutes on the door of the truck. We were parked in the same spot the whole time. Right? My truck didn't move. Every 15 minutes, probably the first 3 or 4 days, knocking on the door. Here, sandwiches. Here, food, hot food, lasagnas, fuck whatever. Dude, it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. Greatest thing I'd ever seen. And all you poor bastards in Canada that weren't there, that weren't seeing it, you were only seeing what CTV, City, Global, The National, these are all Canadian news agencies. You're only seeing what they want you to see. It was a shame. It was a true shame. And that's why a lot of us did so well with our channels there, because we were putting it out, right? We were doing lives, right? I was going live doing this from the convoy. It was phenomenal. And then of course the government has to. So what are they doing? They're killing our signals, right? They can, whatever. But either way, it was one of the proudest things I've ever done. Aside from marrying my wife and watching my children, having my children be born healthy and happy. One of the greatest things I've ever done. Muzzle loader against a tank or an Apache helicopter sounds legit. Hey, dude. David took down Goliath with a slingshot. Just saying. I reloaded for a while, but even primers and powder got pretty expensive when you could find it. Yeah, well, eventually, Tyrannus, they're probably going to go after the guys like you. They know eventually that you're going to run. If they take away the ammo, eventually somewhere down the road, they're going to, guys like you are going to be there doing it, making it. And they're gonna stop you from doing it as well. The fringe, thank you. The fringe minority, Robert. Damn it. Love you, brother. Love you. Thank you. The fringe minority. We were labeled the fringe minority. How is it that a minority did what we did? Jesus, that was good. Oh, I'm a non-combatant, Mr. Beast. However, I may face a final conflict. We're all going to have a final conflict eventually, one day. I'll be deep in the woods by the time the tank and helicopters start sacrificing citizens. Tyrannus, you know what? I got to be honest with you. If that's your plan, you need to come to Canada. You really need to come to Canada. Because it's going to happen here as well. First of all, we don't have as many guns, helicopters, or tanks, so you got a better chance. And we got a lot more countryside for you to run around in. Dude. From where I'm sitting right now, I can take you, Tyrannus, I can take you less than 100 miles. Less than 100 miles, and I can take you to a place I can take you to certain places that I know for a fact that no human being has ever stepped foot on. Nature has been preserved 100%. Not by the government, it's just the fact that there's not enough people to trample the land. Right? So if you want to go deep in the woods by the time the tanks and helicopters start sacrificing citizens, dude, come on up here. You won't have to go that far. It won't be that hard. You can fuck off up into the woods and you can go to places. You'll be long dead and buried. You and your next generation will be long dead and buried before they find you. Come to Canada to do that, man. You'll have a good time too, because free maple syrup for the first 10 that cross the border. Sick. Our wonderful government, in its wisdom, decided it was a great idea to give out local police armored trucks and cars. Versus that can take on a 50 cal or a log grenade launcher. I just love it. Well, we don't in Canada. We don't have. Well, actually, we do. Our police are getting better equipped. All of our major police departments now have special services, if you want to call it special services, if you want to call it, and that's literally it's a special forces division, right? It literally is what it is. So we do have it here. By the by, I'm pretty sure historically more people have been killed with muskets and muzzle loaders than modern weapons, quite possibly. Being that Chinese invented gunpowder in the 6th century. Okay, children, all gather around. Tyrannus is giving us a lesson here. No, don't get me wrong, Tyrannus. Preach away, dude. I didn't know that. Wheelburner Express. Oh, that's for sure. Nothing is random in history. The debt rate is also crazy now. U.S. created its first $1 trillion debt in 130 years, as I remember. Yeah, like when you're talking about numbers like that, okay, $1 trillion worth of debt, you'll never get rid of that. You'll never pay that back. Even if the U.S. doubled its population, tripled its population, you'll never cover $1 trillion worth of debt. Never going to happen. It sucks balls. Sorry to tell you. They printed $1 trillion in just one year. What? $1 trillion in just 1 year. It's already on 33.5 trillion. This is everyone's debt now because the dollar is mutual currency, as everybody knows. Well, actually, I don't know, Tolga. Fucking the U.S. dollar is no longer the world market dollar. They think they are. They want to be, and they're trying to hang on to it. But a lot of the European nations are dropping the U.S. dollar as the world currency. ATF only allows me 50 pounds of gunpowder in my residence. Wow. Do they track it? I guess if you're buying gunpowder, for you to buy it, you have to hand over your drive. Probably like anything else, you'd have to hand over your driver's license. They record, okay, SST bought this on this date, this amount. So, and they allow you only 50 pounds of gunpowder in your residence. Now, be honest. You have more than 100 pounds worth of fucking gunpowder in your residence. I'm not asking you to tell us that for sure. That's for you to decide. Local government cleaning the roads and keeps them open. We just clean the garden. We just clean up the garden. Very good point. I've only got 40 pounds just to be safe. I call bullshit. I'm watching daily, many hours too. It was history. There's too much going on, and that's the thing that I don't like. I didn't even register the boat my gun sank with. There's so much going on that we can't keep track of it, and that's actually a scary thought. When you sit there and you think about all the shit that's going on, and I need to keep an eye on this, I want to keep an eye on that, and by the time this has happened, that has happened, something else has now happened. If you're like, if I consider myself sitting in the middle of the world and the world's going on around me, I can only keep track of fucking maybe five things at once. The other 15, and those 5 things are within my peripheral and in front of me. So I'm keeping track of 5 things like this, right? So the other 2/3 of the world and shit that's going on around me this way, I'm not catching. Eventually, shit's going to go south, and we're not going to see it. I'm not going to see it, and that scares me because I like to be able to keep an eye on just about everything I can. It sounds like that trucker convoy in Canada was just like BLM protests in the U.S. That's cool, man. You know what, little Elvis? Check it out. Check it out. not to promote myself, I'm not, but go back to the early days in my channel, right? And you can see a lot of the convoy of what was going on and what was happening. I can show you something on my channel. I can show you something in a couple of those lives and a couple of those videos that, dude, you've never seen and you will never see again. And what I can show you is a representation, because all the truckers came from across Canada, and we were well represented from the U.S. There was like a lot of U.S. plates, different U.S. state plates up there as well. We were represented. U.S. was represented up there. Don't get me wrong. But what I can show you, and you'll, like I said, we saw it, and you'll never see it again, was world representation of people that normally would pull out a gun and a knife and want to fucking kill each other in a street, that were standing in a convoy amongst each other, laughing, talking, sharing a meal, shaking hands, getting along. The unity and what had happened for that brief period of time, everybody put their own political or their own personal or their own family, religious, put it all aside for the better of the one thing that was going on, and that was the convoy. And everybody got along, and it was one voice as one. And you'll never see that again, right? Countries, people that came from countries, that the bordering country, 2 weeks earlier, if they were in their own country, they'd be fucking bombing this country over here, those representatives over here. Yet we took those people were in Ottawa and were standing there sharing a meal, talking. No, don't get me wrong. They weren't hugging and kissing, going, "Oh, I love you, brother." That wasn't the case either. But there was no hostility. There was no fighting. There was no problem. There was no, "Oh, my country is going to kill your country." None of that. None of that. They were there for the greater good of what we were supposed to be doing there. And like I said, it happened once, and you'll probably never see it again in my lifetime. BLM is a joke. I'm not going to give you my my opinion on that. It won't be popular. Hey, 10,000 ants can take down a buffalo. Flatbed or dick, you got it. You got it. Ron, I watched the convoy every day on YouTube. Spent hours and days watching it. Karen was with us. Karen was one of the, Karen, Robert. There was a bunch of people that were really with us, because when we went to the convoy, when we eventually went to the convoy, I only had 2,500 subscribers. By the time I left the convoy, I was at 9,000 subscribers, right? Because we were so active down there. And then as the convoy ended and the interest ended, and we were no longer there because we weren't there anymore. Those people that were tuning into our channel and other channels for that information slowly stopped watching. Now, the funny thing is, if you look at my channel, right, there's 7,800 or 7,900 subscribers. I guarantee you probably 5,000 of those are people that came and got into us and watched us during the convoy, that are still subscribed, that just turn their notifications off. That's why I've got 7,900 people, right? I got 7,900 people on subscribed to my channel, but I don't have 7,900 people obviously watching me. It would be nice if I did, but I don't. Muzzle loaders are a hassle. Every time I take one to the range, inevitably someone starts talking my ear off. Well, it's because you don't see them every day, right? They're not common. How many rounds a minute can you get off with a muzzle loader? Usually some retiree baby boomer. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to tell you all the goods and bads of your muzzle loader. I missed the nightly tour of different trucks, but the sauna on the top of flat top was pushing it. The sauna on the flat top was pushing it? I don't remember seeing a fucking sauna, dude. I don't remember seeing a sauna. I remember there was they broke out a hot tub at one point. They broke out hockey games. They broke out a lacrosse game. I don't remember a sauna, but man, we covered a lot of shit down there. We got very little sleep. I mean, very, very, very little sleep. And we were trying to go nonstop because action and shit was going on 24 hours a day. It was a lot. Now, old fella I worked with has a 12-pound field cannon on his property. It eats a pound at a time. Holy Jesus Christ. What's the fucking muzzle velocity of a 12-pound field cannon with a pound of gunpowder in it? Jesus Christ. Most of the powder I made is for him. It's for him. Well, you better start putting a little aside there, bro. You're going to need it, sounds like. We're hoping to get up to see you this weekend, Brian. We have to go to Marysville. Well, Karen, you and Al know where we are. Oh, I saw the picture you sent, Dar, on Al's truck. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Looks very good. You're sporting it really well. If you're coming up this weekend, let me see. What have I got booked in this weekend? Yeah, fuck you. You don't have to wait till the weekend. Fuck, if you're going by anytime, pop in for Christ's sake. It's not like I got anything else to do. Jesus. Sorry, Ron. Yeah, hot tub, laugh. And who won the Convoy Hockey Cup? Believe it or not, I think, Ron, it was broken down, and as much as it pains me to say, because there was 4 teams or 5 teams. They almost had like a fucking tournament going. And I think it was the French guys that won the cup. But I'll tell you this, and this is one thing that the government swore, is that we were there and we were destroying the city and we were leaving our garbage. When we pulled out of Ottawa, we left that city cleaner than we found it. We had cleaning crews, people picking up garbage, running trash out of the convoy areas in their own personal vehicles. And they said that we were destroying like public property, and we were disrupting the businesses, like all the small businesses. All of those small businesses had major spikes in business. We were using and spending our money, which we realistically didn't have because my wheels weren't turning. Well, the whole time my truck was parked at that convoy, I wasn't making any fucking money, right? Not a dime. But yet we were reaching into our pockets and, support, because obviously the subway cards and the Timmy's cards, a lot of that runs out. That was great. We appreciated all the help, but eventually, you got to start paying for stuff. Those businesses that surrounded that whole convoy, they did great. They cleaned up. They really had a good year that year. And the government wanted to tell you guys through CTV, City TV, Global, the National, all the Canadian media outlets, they wanted to tell you guys that we were destroying the city, trashing the city, breaking things. The local community was, there was one thing that we did get in shit for, and we did fix it. There was a retirement home that was close by, and the horns, which we were laying on the horns. We did, they went to the conveners or the organizers and said, okay, we've got an old age home, a retirement home. The horns is, can you maybe keep it between these hours and these hours? Which again, we did. And we get that. Like we're there to wake people up, but we're not there to rattle them out of their fucking beds. Right. So we did. And that was kind of cool. But other than that, we dumped how many millions of dollars into that fucking city. I don't know what the final total was, but it was more than I make in a fucking year. More than I make in a year. You both are family to us, Brian. Well, Karen, we feel the same way about you and Al. You guys like I said, you guys have been with us since day one. We really have, and we appreciate that. So there's an anime, and don't make me say that, called Psychopaths, that basically a perfect example of how social credit school will work and how you have to be a model citizen of society so that you are free and able to mingle. chaos, that is already in place in a lot of places. You don't need to look at an meme or however you fucking say that. That is already in place in a few countries, right? A social standing is in place. So you are going to be, for example, if Brian is not a good Canadian, it'll affect my credit standing, my pay, my money, my everything about me. If I need medical attention, well, you know what? Because I'm not toeing the line as a good Canadian, I'm not a good party supporter, I'm not a good Canadian, I'll be denied medical care. All of that is coming. All of that is coming in Canada. And it's coming sooner than you think. Oops, sorry. It was never so clean. It was awesome. Yeah, Ron, it was. We had people literally coming in every, I think 6 to 8 hours and trucking the garbage out. And when we left that city, it was cleaner than we left when we got there. And the funny thing was, there was a great thing because I think it was Global did this great big fucking thing saying, oh yes, they're terrorizing the neighborhoods and they're causing problems. And while that was airing, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Mr. Sunshine Baby, because he was there. It was either Mr. Sunshine Baby or it was somebody else. It wasn't us. They were showing the hockey game that was going on, like the cup you were just talking about, Ron. So as Global is doing this, Mr. Sunshine Baby, I think it was him, was showing the hockey game. So yeah, we're causing chaos and there's problems and there's fighting and there's rioting and there's a fucking hockey. It doesn't get any more Canadian than a street hockey game. And that's what the news agencies were told to feed you guys that weren't there. Anybody that was not within 100 miles that could get in and see with your own eyes what was going on, that's what you guys were fed. Oh, they're terrorized. They're ripping the city to pieces. Yeah, it was so dangerous a hockey game broke out. Tell me, there's 150 people standing on the side of the road all holding Timmy's cups watching a fucking street hockey game. Oh, we're dangerous, man. Look out. Look out. Social credit score will work. You're not going to want it to work, Chaos. I enjoyed all the honking. Hey, you know what? We all enjoyed it too. My problem is I got a Cascadia and my horn sucks balls. I wish I had the W9, right? I wish I had the old W9 when I went in, but I had the Cascadia, and that's a shame. I wish because my horn sucked. Really, like I had a big old 4900 Western Star in front of me, and I was surrounded by some of the older trucks. I was embarrassed. Honk on my horn. Meanwhile, these guys are rattling windows. So, truck horns melted the snowflakes. It was a beautiful sound. I think the snow is based. I think the show is based of the Chinese society. I think you're going to be surprised when they break it out here, when they roll it out here. Canada, I guarantee, Chaos. As an American, you don't have to worry too much about it because we are going to see it first in Canada. Okay, we are going to see it first in Canada before you guys ever get any of it. But it's going to happen. I am proud of what the convoy accomplished. Loved it, and when the vets showed up and took the barrier down around the war monument, that was one of the coolest things I ever saw. That was one of the coolest things. The goddamn police and the government showed up, and they said that we were desecrating the war monuments. We were destroying them or causing damage to them. You know what we did? We hung a Canadian flag, and they said that by hanging a Canadian flag like on part of the war monument, we were desecrating the war monument. So they came in and they put up these great big fences. They're just 6-footers, right? Just the panel ones, the wire ones. They're all the ones that they use around the construction sites. So they surrounded each monument with these here, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Within hours, the vets showed up. Canadian war veterans showed up, crossed the police line. The cops weren't about to stop them. You think the cops were actually going to fucking manhandle a bunch of veterans? Wasn't going to happen. They took the barriers down, and they said, we'll take care of our own monuments. You guys can fuck off now and go away. And they did. Beautiful. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful things I ever saw. And they did. They took care of their own. Nobody was desecrating the monuments anyway. Nobody was doing any of that kind of bullshit. Again, it was what you were being fed, but it wasn't happening. And I can prove it wasn't happening because I was recording it. It's on my channel. Go to not just my channel. There was probably 10 really good channels. Northern Girl Hobbies. Her name is Jen. She pops in here now and then too. Northern Girl Hobbies. She was there. That's where I met her. I met her down there. And she's not even a truck driver. Her and her old man jumped in their car and they came down there. Money out of their own pocket. They came down there. And that's where I met Jen, Northern Girl Hobbies. Go check out her channel on the early convoy because she was there as well. Mr. Sunshine Baby, of course, he was there. He's a massive channel now. Like that guy's living on his YouTube channel. But he was there. That's where he got his break. That convoy launched that guy. And good on him. Good on him. He did a lot of good work. What he's done since, I don't know. I haven't watched or paid any attention, but I do know that I saw him I saw one of his shorts the other day, and I just randomly clicked to see what his how many subscribers he had, and he's like fuck up there. He's way up there. As a benchmark, I watched average of 12 hours a day. I had to be a witness and feel part of the family. Ron, you know what? It was incredible. And what was incredible is that we couldn't answer the emails and the conversations as fast as they were coming in. And it wasn't people going, oh yeah, good job, thank you. It was people like you that wanted information. You wanted to know what was going on. You wanted to know what truly is going on down there. Hold on. Oh. One of the kids is home. And that's what it was. We could not keep up with the request of information. Every time one of the news outlets or major media outlets would put out an article or put out something, we'd get 60, 70, 80, 100 fucking emails, and Dar couldn't respond fast enough. Hey, what's the story with this? Did this happen? How did this happen? Blah, 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 blah. You know, when the veterans took down, okay, that wasn't reported properly when the veterans took over the war, their own monuments. Did you guys hear? Obviously, you did afterwards through a lot of ours. But you know, when we were shot at with rubber bullets, anybody here knows what it feels like to get shot with a rubber bullet? Anybody? To have one of your own police departments. And it wasn't even an Ottawa police department. Here's what they did. They didn't have enough cops for the Ottawa police department. So the government, because they enabled the Emergencies Act, they were pulling divisions from all. So there was Metro Toronto cops policing in Ottawa, Peel Regional cops, Halton Regional cops, OPP cops, RCMP cops. And that's who was policing the streets of Ottawa. But let's get back to it. Does anybody here know what it feels like to get shot with a rubber bullet? It hurts. Now, I wasn't there when the horse, like the big one there, where that woman got trampled by the fucking horse. That was fucking shameful. But let me tell you something. When you're dodging and getting hit with rubber bullets, and then they're shooting tear gas at you, and they're going, "Oh, it wasn't tear gas. It was just smoke." No, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't just smoke. It was tear gas, but you guys didn't see it. It wasn't reported to you. What you got reported was the smoke and the bullets and all the shit, and it got turned around like we were the aggressors. When that woman got trampled by a horse, she was doing nothing. She was standing right there. Now, I'm going by what I saw on another couple of the YouTubers, and I'm going by word of mouth. For that one there, I didn't see it. I wasn't witness to it. But everything else, the need for information to coming out was so great that we couldn't get it out fast enough, really. And I think as well, it wasn't just that the CRTC and everything that were killing our bandwidths or whatever for our internet. I think there were so many people with cell phones down there doing lives and doing this that it just slowed everything down, right? And it really hurt us. It really did. But it was fantastic. It was fucking awesome. And like I said, Ron, if you were one of those people that was watching YouTube or watching what we were doing 12 hours a day, we thank you. Because it was guys like you that the other 12 hours a day, when you weren't asleep, you were either at work or whatever you were doing, you guys were passing the message of what was truly going on down there because you were watching it from guys like us that were there doing it. So, in that case there, thanks, man. Yeah, it was him. Plus, he also showed the police throwing a senior to the ground and arresting him for supporting the convoy. Yeah, dude, Karen, a lot of that happened. I interviewed that one guy that had the cops come up and take his gas or take his diesel cans because he was bringing diesel into us because we were running out of fuel, right? It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And, the people that were it wasn't just us. They went after the support staff because all of the support staff weren't truck drivers. They were just regular, everyday, people that were supporting us. And they were like, oh, come on, let's jump in the car, grab some cans, let's grab some money, let's grab this, let's grab that, let's go down and let's support these guys. Let's throw our weight behind it. And they did. So what'd they do? They started targeting them as well. Started targeting their cars. Guys were waking up and people were waking because they were sleeping in their cars in the streets of Ottawa, the support people. And they'd wake up in the morning and their diesel cans would all be gone. Cops came through in the middle of the night, took all their fucking diesel cans. Or, if they had a cooler strapped to the roof or whatever, it was stolen. Nobody was stealing. That wasn't fucking anybody going along, oh, there's a nice thermos, I'm going to steal that. No, they were taken, the cops were ordered to do as much disruption as they could to disrupt the flow of getting supplies into that convoy. And they did a great job. Now, they didn't succeed, but they did a good job. Obviously, they didn't succeed in shutting us down because what was the end result? They ended up coming in force. None of that was necessary. None of that was necessary. Guys, I'll be honest with you. When Dar and I jumped in the truck and we went down to the convoy, we were expecting to be there fucking 3 days. It would be over in 3 days and the truck would be back in the driveway. That's what we expected. We did not expect this that went on. And then the end result was what? Violence. We didn't incite it. They came in force, destroyed the trucks. Wasn't necessary. Threw people around. Wasn't necessary. Nobody resisted arrest. Nobody resisted anything. There was no reason or need for anybody to be arrested. They weren't breaking any fucking laws. Yet they were. Their property was destroyed. Some of the nicest fucking trucks you'd ever see were in that convoy. Trashed. And some of these guys, this one young kid, I don't remember his name. Dar talked to him a few times. Young kid, just got his truck. It was a beautiful blue and white W9 flat top. It was gorgeous, man. Absolutely fucking stunning, gorgeous truck. He knew what was coming on, so he purposely left the doors of his truck open and the windows down. So the cops didn't have to do anything. All they had to do was go in, turn the truck on, put air, whatever, and then they could tow the truck out. There was no need for them to damage anything. Cops still rolled the windows up, smashed all the windows, including the windshield, went inside, busted everything. This kid actually put all the pictures and all the damage because then the truck was towed to an impound yard, right? He had to go get this fucking truck out of the impound yard and he documented everything that they did. Now, the truck was left wide open. None of it was necessary. They could have just picked the fucking truck up and towed it. Didn't have to do any of that. Why did they do that? And why did they arrest people? And why did they didn't just arrest you, but they confined you. And they didn't even charge you. They just confined them and didn't charge them with anything. How did that get to pass? The end result was I'm not gonna say it was horrifying because it wasn't fucking horrifying, but it was on a level of bullshit that you've never fucking seen, and it was all the government. We didn't do anything. All we did is we applied our expressed right to fucking protest. The city of Ottawa knew we were coming. They knew what we were doing. We told everybody when, where, what, how many. Everything. Now, the numbers were a little fucking, they didn't expect the numbers that we got. right? The numbers that we got were ridiculously fucking stupid. Nobody thought that many would truly show up, but they did, right? They did. But we told them, cleaned your city, supported your city. All we wanted was the prime minister to walk out of that fucking office, come down and talk to us. The whole thing would have been done. In on Friday, out on Sunday night, Monday morning. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Why? Because Mr. Trudeau, you're a coward. You are a coward. Robert, you taking off? Gotta go. Appreciate you being here, my man. As always appreciate you being here. Trudeau's a coward, and that's simple as it is. That's all it is. Let's see, what were we at here? What the fuck is going on? Technology. Can't blame me. Oh my God. There we go. They hurt like hell. Yeah, you're talking about the rubber bullets? Yeah, they do. They do hurt like hell. God, I hope none of you ever get fucking hit with one, because they do hurt like a fucking son of a bitch. Rand McTrucker. Hey, what's up, Will Brunner? Long time no see. What's going on? This is Rand. Yeah, I think when I see Rand anything, I kind of figure out who it is. Look at this. Look what's going on here. Oh, that's what's going on here. Hold on. Let's do this. Here we go. Can you hear me now, Karen? So Randall's walking around. How we doing? All the allegations, technology is. What the fuck are you talking about? Rubber bullets have a history of killing people. Well, luckily, Ron, none of the rubber bullets killed anybody. But they did hurt, and they did do damage. And there were people that had to go to the hospital from it. Of course, you didn't hear about that from City or Global or any of that, did you? Lip reading time. Sorry, guys. Somehow or another, the cord to my computer had come out, and the computer was down to 1%. It was about to die. So that's why I was having a little bit of problem. And as soon as I plugged it in, for some reason it muted itself. So my apologies. Dar's out working right now, so it's not like I got my my regular support staff here. So any of you guys that got nothing to do, you want to come fucking hang out, you're welcome to come fucking sit in here or go sit in the living room with the other computer and moderate for me. Come on now. You said, wait a minute, I'll go to the bank and be right back. No, dude, that wasn't even a minute. I just went down the hall, whatever. So yeah, audio's good. Glad it's working. Anyway, you know what? Brand new laptops even falling with the USBs. That's normal. I can't keep up with technology. Like this thing here, the cell phone. Actually, this isn't even a phone. You guys know that. You know what this is a computer with a phone attached to it. There's more shit on this phone. This phone can do more shit than I even know it can do. I can't use probably 90% of the shit on this phone. I use it for texting, watching YouTube, doing some videos, doing a little bit of stuff for work, making some phone calls, emails, that kind of shit. But the other 90% of the shit that this phone can do, I'll never in my lifetime ever figure that out. I guarantee you. I was gonna get into some other shit, but you know what? I'm kind of losing my wind here a bit. You know, because we got, again, it's a Canadian thing, and Ron, you're Canadian, and Wizard's a Canadian, and there's a couple of other Canadians in here, and what they're doing right now with the Bill C-11 and shit like that, taking over the airwaves with the CRTC. The CRTC is going to start regulating podcasts. Now, don't get me wrong, they're starting big right now, but it won't be long. It won't be long, and it's already happening, even though they say it's not. But it is. It's already happening. They are involved with this, with YouTube, with any media platform that is now being used to put out what they consider information or news, or not. The CRTC or the Canadian government now wants to be involved in that, meaning that they now want to see what guys like me are spouting and spewing, and they want to have control over it. Now, there's a whole lot more to it. I just gave you a nutshell of it, but there is a whole lot more to it. And let me tell you right now, it is not good as a Canadian. We've already had our stream disrupted once a few weeks ago when we put out a podcast, because I was putting out something, and I was putting out information, and I was in the podcast, I was saying certain things about COVID and vaccines and everything like that. And it was deemed that I was passing along misinformation, and my podcast was taken down. Now, the funny thing was, the information at the time that the podcast was taken down, the information that I was reading, or the information I was giving, or this misinformation, I was reading word from word from the Canadian Health and Standards Act government website. I was reading it word from word. I thought that was hilarious. You dumbasses shut me down for passing along misinformation while I'm reading a frickin' word for word from a Canadian government website. That was fantastic. But that's just the tip of it. It really is. The Bill C-11. If you guys don't know what it is, go check it out. It's called the Bill C-11. It's the Online Streaming Act. It's another one of those ones that the government snuck on through. Nobody yelled and screamed, but it's in there now, and we can't do anything about it. So, but you know, it's one of those things that I think maybe in a couple of days I might actually just do. I might do another podcast, take another swing at that, and we'll talk about the Bill C-11, the Online Streaming Act, and Bill C-18. It'll be probably more towards the Canadians, but it's good for the Americans to see what's going on here. So it'll give you guys maybe an idea of, you know, shit that when you start to see indicators in your laws and rules and regulations start to change, you'll pick up on it faster than say we did, because a lot of us had no goddamn idea this was going to happen, right? The day is coming when a guy like me is going to be in Canada, and I'm going to be doing a show or a thing like this, and there's going to be somebody somewhere watching and going beep, 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 beep. Like I say fuck or damn or shit or anything like that. It's going to be, you know, censored and monitored, and it's coming. It truly is. I hate to be Tyrannus, panties matter. Yeah. Hashtag panties matter. Well, if I have to sit here in my panties to make it happen, well, I guess I will, but it's not going to be today. But anyway, you know what? Maybe I'll get on to something like that next week, the week after. I don't want to go down the road of becoming some kind of conspiracy theorist, because I'm not. I don't look in the deep, dark corners of the world and pull out shit and try to find shit that isn't there. I just try to deal with and talk to you guys about stuff, everyday stuff that I see that's going on around the world. And every once in a while, we try to keep it, we try to do some truck. We talk about trucking. We try to talk about what's going on in the trucking world. We try to talk about our lives. I don't necessarily need to talk about the trucking world, like the industry, the markets and all that. I'm more interested in talking with truck drivers and talking about our lives and our families and how we're dealing with the stresses, the everyday life stresses of being an over-the-road truck driver, and how our families are dealing with it, and how, that's the kind of stuff that I like to talk to guys. That's just my thing. I've already done the, hey, let's sit there and talk about, oh yeah, okay, you got fuel mileage of 7%. Like, dude, I can sit there and talk fucking numbers and math and numbers with the best of them. Is it really helping? No. I can sit there and do that, or we can sit here and we can break it out with a couple of other truck drivers and talk about, our divorces, what caused them, how we feel as truck drivers, how we dealing with the open road, how we dealing. That's the type of shit that, I'd like to talk about more and get into. So maybe we'll look down the road. I've got a couple of people that I've already reached out to that I'm going to try to bring in and do some stuff like that. So, but it ain't going to be today. It ain't going to be today. I'm so confused about unionized panties. There's nothing to be confused about, dude. I just don't want to get caught up with my panties down. I just don't want to get caught with my panties down. It's one of those. It's a bi-union, Tyrannus. It's a bi-union. Okay. You can have your panties on, or you can have panties. You can have your panties up, or you can have your panties down. Either way, it's good with us. But you better call Sterling. You need to call Sterling. He's the president. You're going to need to get the call on that one. B train is loaded. We'll be listening but driving. Flatbetter, good luck to you, man. Drive safe. B trains are fun. I'm a gamer. I love truck. I love my truck sim. Wish I was a trucker when I was younger. It's a good life, man. It is a good life. I got no qualms. I got no problems with the life that trucking has given me or my family. It's a good life. It's a hard life and it's a good life. But you have to know that you're going to pay a price. I would honestly say that, would I do it again? Yeah, I'd do it again. Knowing what I know right now, would I do it again? Yeah, I would. Without a doubt, I would. Anyway, with that, you know what? I'm going to bugger off because the kids are all coming in from work. There's going to be more noise. Dogs are going to bark, and I'm hungry. So, and I have to eat. Funny as well. The same guy that accused me of not being at the convoy and he called bullshit on it was the same guy in another life saying, "Oh, all those old fat truck drivers." Old fat truck drivers. Do I look like an old fat truck driver to you? Funny. Anyway, I'm a gamer. White line fever. Absolutely, Ron. White line fever. We've all got, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Once you've got it, it never goes away. You may not be happy doing it, but you'll still have the fever. Anyway, with that, guys, you know what? Thanks for hanging out. It's been a couple of hours. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys down the road. Be safe, eh?